All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to today's edition of our podcast, Reflect, um, Thrive, Reflect and Thrive, right? And we've been holding some topics very strongly. We just finished the trauma series. We'll have to revisit this trauma series, but we just finished some strategic areas of this trauma series and we intend to improve and do more. So with me has been an amazing, wonderful person who has been my guest and the co-host of this Reflect and Thrive um, podcast. And his name is Sanji. He's a 20-year monk he's been a monk for 20 years now. That's what I mean. And Sanji is a meditation coach, a serenity coach, and Sanji also helps organizations, does consultancy work, and helps you in any area to live the best life you could possibly live. Welcome, Sanji.
Well, thank you so much, Simon. And always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. A lot of people have been putting in words that when someone reached out to me, I wouldn't be a part of your meditation group. I added some people to the meditation group, and there's been lots of life changing experiences, and it's been an amazing one. Sanji, today we're dealing with a very strong matter. I call it the silent epidemic.
Hmm.
It's an epidemic that we're not paying attention to, and it's the matter of addiction. Addiction. Addiction is eating into the society so much.
Hmm.
In fact, sometimes I find myself falling a victim of this, thing, most especially the social media addiction, the dopamine craze, right?
Hmm.
I find myself falling a victim of this social media addiction. And there are different levels of addiction in society. We'll be dealing with the different levels, but today we just want to throw some light into addiction. So, Sanji, when we say addiction, what comes to your mind?
Yeah, it's some situation like yeah, there's a specific definition also for that. But yeah, let's get in a terminology we can understand. It's something that we start somewhere and then we get so used to it, and then it's like we get hooked up into it. It can be anything. It can be from the simplest of like eating something, or like even children are addicted to even games. No, even adults are addicted, and it can go way or overboard, and even things like gambling, alcohol, drugs, you name it. No, sex, even
Mm,
these kind of anything. No,
mm,
like it can go further, 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 and so this uh, they can but usually it ends up in a negative way, even like things like pornography, these kinds of addictions. There can be so many
mm,
ways, like something that is healthy also. Some people addicted to prescription drugs, right? These are supposed
mm,
to help people, no? And social media for sure, like you mentioned. uh, most things like seems to start from a very innocent place. I think not the gross ones like drug addiction and all those things, no alcohol and these kind of things, but other things like social media, maybe video games, or these kind of things, or eating habits. They can start with a very simple place, but it can go all the way. And the thing is like uh,
mm,
the inability to control or stop the behavior, or that
mm,
usage, and it has a big effect on like their health. We'll talk about these things, and relationships, either in the work environment, family, background, or in a like
mm,
a romantic relationship, no. And even
mm,
though it's affecting in a negative way in the overall like functionality of life itself. So it can happen in many
mm,
ways and aspects also.
mm. That's amazing. I hear you say things like it becoming uncontrollable. So, in your experience, what's the biggest misconception people have about addiction that you would like to throw some light on? What are some of the biggest misconceptions?
Oh. People tend to take it lightly. If,
Mm,
for example, like even if a child is doing something and you see some unnatural behavior, huh? Which, oh, this is their age, or this is this time period, it's like that, or it's just for a party, or just for something, no, or boys are boys, no,
mm,
or like this is the new
mm,
generation, or the teenagers, they
mm,
are like that. So they
mm,
use some kind of thing and just like cover it up, but actually in the long run it's very dangerous or very harmful. So that negligence or something that can happen, because it had like many people missed out on the points, and it led to like
mm,
very difficult situations, people taking even their lives or other people's lives after that, because some points or small things were ignored, or overlooked. And there were some instances like, Simon, even the parents saw some difficulty or some change in the child, and they even informed authorities, but they said, oh no, we cannot do much about it. Oh, there were like
mm,
some instances like the parents saw these children were having some weapons and these kind of things, and they knew like these people, this child had some like psychological disorder also, so they have informed the authorities. But in those countries, they, which is in a way good, they value the individual rights. So they said like, unless this person does something, we cannot get involved. So actually
mm,
it led to a tragedy. So there are places, so looking, just missing the points, or looking over it, or just try to like covering up things, or taking,
mm,
if you put it all in a nutshell, we can say taking things lightly, uh, that can
mm,
lead to big problems in the future.
mm. So, uh, that 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 means that somehow we as people we sponsor addiction by overlooking it, and most especially for the younger generation, sometimes I've seen parents give their children tablets, for example, right? We're not getting into that now, but
Hmm.
just to throw some light, I've seen parents give children tablets and tell them play game. When the child is crying, the
Hmm.
mom gives the child a mobile device, an Android device to play
Hmm.
game instead of attending to the child. Because whilst we were growing up, we saw our parents attending to us. Why are you crying? What's
Hmm.
happening? They want to check up. But this generation, as little as 6 months, 1 year, they start giving the child devices.
Hmm.
And somehow we are sponsoring social media addiction in the child, because when the child learns something
Sure, sure.
about social media from a very tender age, they're watching videos, they're watching cartoons and stuff like that, it will affect them. So you're saying we sponsor addiction by overlooking it, by treating it lightly, by not taking necessary precaution?
Yeah, surely. And it might happen from the time they are in the womb itself, because
Mm,
some addictive problems that the parents do, it affects, because through
mm,
the mother system it goes to the child, no, and physical, because there are like
mm,
psychological addictions as well as physical addictions. You can categorize into two.
mm,
So the symptoms that can come through the body itself even. If the mother
mm,
is consuming alcohol and all, that can affect the fetus or the child. Not only
mm,
disabilities, even to like future addictions. Usually there's a saying that they say
mm.
like, the apple doesn't fall far away from the tree, or you don't have to
Exactly.
sharpen the thorns of a tree, right? It's already sharp.
Yeah,
So likewise,
yeah.
actually the parents have a big role, and later they cannot say, "Oh, we did so much for our children." But like, there are some instances like there were, and people was kind of like shocked, um, because to a bar there was these two kids very small kids, and the parents also with came, and they were selecting the type of liquor, and they were telling, oh, father should drink this, and mother should drink this, and then sister should drink this, like that they were selecting
mm,
different brands. So this is also family. And coming to a bar and selecting what they should drink, and they actually
mm,
purchased it and went. And these kids were very small. So to coming back to what you
mm,
said, like there are children now, like in their sleep they just do like scrolling, because whatever we
mm,
do, there's an imprint in our mind, Simon. And then later in our dreams and other thing places, like they start working. And what we see in social media, it's like it wants people to be they call it a hook even actually. There's like they use a pattern of things, and then they get the attention first, then they like luring fish, no. They put a bait, and then the hook is placed, and then on that uh, bait, or through that bait, and then the fish is lured, no, and caught. And so the idea is, that's why like these algorithms and all like start giving this content we see regularly. They know what we are typing and all, and then they send the same kind of things continuous. They want us to be there. So if the child does this, the same kind of content will be coming, and they cannot stop themselves.
mm,
So it's very dangerous. And now there are even, I don't want to mention the name, but you know this social media platform, and there are like psychological disorder given to that specific name, which has a very low attention span.
yeah,
It's very tragic, and because children, their minds are so vast and open, not like us adults, no, they don't have to think all these things, and they don't have like they don't have to consider much of the problems adults have to go through. So it's one of the most beautiful
mm,
times in their life, or anybody's life, or it should be, no.
mm,
But the
mm,
problem is now these children, they don't even have like a few seconds of attention span, and everything is catered to that, which is a tragedy. It should
mm,
be the opposite, right? More and more like but and the parents, like, definitely, when if they are just trying to, it's even worse than putting children into a daycare. Some parents, they just drop them there, and for some reasons also. But when you hand over them one is like, there was a research one time, and even the radiation amount for a average adult is too much of a regular, like a well known brand of a mobile device, a very well known device. It is also too much, Simon, for an adult. So think what impact it will have on a small child.
a child,
Yeah,
yeah,
surely. Those devices, and in some products I saw, like in the first products, like not very far. They were not allowed to use some options and all because of the radiation that it emits.
mm,
And before that, like mobile, you could just kind of like keep two mobile devices and even boil a egg, no, like microwaves.
mm, mm,
Really, like because there was so much radiation, or like
radiation, yeah,
so like think like if adult, these are like modern day devices, and then they say like this is also too much for even a adult. That's why they say don't keep it near your ear or put in your pockets.
mm,
Use like a wired something if possible, like a device to connect, because there's radiation and it can affect even, how to say, lower parts of your body even. I don't want to
mm,
mention.
mm,
So they say don't stick it in your
yeah,
pockets or anything. Just leave it in a bag if possible. Use a cable, and talk. Never place it on. They say use the left side rather than the right side, but almost it's not very far, right? Uh, so
mm,
now they say like leave it in a bag. Don't keep it on your pockets or anywhere, or chest pockets or this. Uh, and because, so think the impact on a child, no? They don't know. They will just hug it. They will just watch it. No, they'll be staring at it. Children do all sorts of things. No, because they don't know anything of this.
mm, mm. So this is so serious, right?
Sorry.
Most parents, this is so serious, right? Most parents don't pay attention to these things. Most times, even the parents do not know the effect these things have. It's it's troubling, right? Because I look at what's happening in our society today, and I ask myself, in the next 10 years, in the next 15, 30, maybe 50 years, where would we be? There will be an increase in cancer because of these radiations you mentioned. In fact, there's already an increase in cancer, and sometimes you can't trace where these things are coming from. You can say food, you can say, but these radiations, I believe one time they talked about 5G, and this was the problem why they didn't want to launch the 5G, because the radiation it would emit, right?
Mhm.
It's so much, and parents do not take this into caution. Brings us back to what you say. People treat this too lightly, but it's damaging both health physically, it's damaging psychology. People are being drained, exhausted psychologically. When it's the time to talk about social media, we'll talk about this real
Mhm.
deeply, because there's a lot in it.
Mhm.
Now, going back to the adult, right? Why do you think the level of addiction right now is at an increase, Sanjay? And yet we have things to make us more comfortable.
Mhm.
Life is more comfortable now than it was maybe
Mhm.
100 years ago, a century ago.
Mhm.
Things are more comfortable for us right now. Yeah, you can get food from your house without cooking,
Mhm.
right? You could order food. You could get a product from different part of the world by just placing an order. So there is every reason to have more comfort and relax and enjoy it and be more productive. The goal of comfort was to help us become more productive. But what we've seen is the direct opposite. Comfort is now making us more addicted. What is going on, sir?
Yeah, there's a tricky side here that's happening, Simon. Because it should be like that. We should have more time. We should have more space. We should be happier. We should be more peaceful. We should be creative. Lot of things. There's a lot of should be in the positive side, but nothing. Or like nothing means like average person. They don't even have time, right? So the thing
Yes.
is, uh, though the technology has gone up, it seems like it's being used in a very twisted way. For example, like they
Mm.
talk about the snacks, right? So if you increase
Okay.
the amount of salt and the sugar, you can get easily addicted. Even animals get addicted.
Mm.
Huh? And then if you
Wow.
reduce like the amount of the weight of the proper food, huh? Then what
Mm.
happens is however much you eat, you don't feel, the body doesn't feel it. Uh, then you can just stuff in, stuff in, stuff in, stuff in. And there are some things like, for example, like ajinomoto. Huh?
Mm.
Or things like that you can, it's very it's not good even, it seems tasty.
Mm.
And now there are in some countries, like even if you put a shoe, you can make it so light, it's like the next hybrid of that. Huh? So
Mm.
you can even they just as a saying, they say if you put even a shoe, that will melt, like soften up to a level it's edible. Huh?
Edible, yes.
Yeah, so
I've seen
likewise.
something like that.
Huh, huh, huh.
Mm.
So there are some beverages, very well known beverages. Huh? That beverage, if you drink some fruit juice or something, in different times you cannot consume it. Because, for
Mm.
example, some fruit juice, so maybe in the night time we don't feel like drinking. Maybe in the morning time and all we can. Because the body rejects it. So they found a
Mm.
particular way, and they changed it, uh, that like the body is okay with it, it accepts it, so you can drink.
Mm.
So there are some particular beverages, uh, you can drink it at any time, any occasion. Not only that, it has a addictive. So even some things like they put some substances or chemicals that make people addicted to this. Even food itself, they add
mm,
something that people want more. They crave more. Even the simplest things like sugar and all or salt, if you increase the levels, they people get addicted to that. Uh, So other thing is like there's a hypnosis process that happens. Uh, so what we do is like if we are given the same imprint. So there were some in like second world also and all. There were some people telling even if a lie if you tell more than 10 times, but don't try these things. No, if you tell more than 10 times, it starts
mm,
becoming a truth or a reality. Because people wonder, okay, like maybe this so we hear this so many times. So this is what kind of thing like advertising is doing. Why do they have all these big billboards and all? And why are they spending so much and putting all these beautiful people or popular people or anybody who had been working a lot on their physicality or experiences or education or anything like that, no? Or talents. And they just say like because of this product, they I became like this. Because of this thing, I became like that. So into our subconscious, we are fed and we all like to be in some way or form, right? So when it's fed many times and you see it on the TV or now we have the internet and just all these pop-up ads and all, even for a glimpse of things, huh? What happens is like it gets embedded into your mind. And then soon as you see a big billboard or something, why do they put even billboards or posters or still in this technology time? When you see that, like the inner thing, the buttons are pressed. And then what happens? That urgency comes up. Like if you see, like let's drink this, let's have this, and we are fed like so many things, and then we automatically, like we are brainwashed, we go and pick that same product or same thing.
mm,
So in social media and these
mm,
things, what they do is they do it in a much more rapid way. They know our trigger points, they know our specific things, and they are using mentality tactics here. Uh,
mm,
then what they do is that then they press the buttons or let the buttons press by themselves. Then what we do is
mm,
we spend our money and time and all these things. And when this is consumed, we don't have a space of a peace of mind or even space in our mind. Because not only one, no, the food, the seeing from the eye, hearing, the smelling, tasting, the thinking, the
mm,
problems we have, the solutions we need. Or okay, this is a substitute for that. Just forget that for a moment. If you have this,
mm,
if you have that, so there's a flood of information that comes, but it comes with a catch inside. For many things are like unwholesome as well as addictive because it's a mind game
mm,
here, and then the body reacts, and then we get caught up. So it's like some
mm,
people like uh, getting people addict to some substance. They say try this out, no, but they are not doing it in a good way. Then after that, people
mm.
get hooked up into that. So in through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, that is what in a way what they are doing. That's why they spend millions of whatever money on advertising, and they profit in so many ways, and they become
So,
big, better and better at it also. That's why they
mm,
say like if possible, just fast yourself, just like you fast from food, fast from social media, fast from the internet. It's like kind of like strange. Like okay, food you can feel, but why would the person need to fast? Because it's kind of like the same, right? Or even
mm,
worse, uh, when you fast with regarding to food, any religion says this, no? And then
yeah,
yeah, say like they say skip a meal and give it to the poor. Uh, so
mm,
likewise, like when you fast, your system becomes more healthy. You have like
mm,
all those undigested stuff and all, they like start releasing or start digesting. Even the
mm,
toxins or stuff that is like in the intestines, they start removing from the body. Lot of things happen. But
mm,
same thing is like when you take a break from internet or even social media, because this is filling our minds up, or like making like the
mm,
guts and everything go bad, our minds go bad, and there's a lot of residue
mm.
that collects.
Wow. I would love to talk about the issue of fasting, but I think I'll bring it more when we're dealing with the social media, because today we're just doing an introduction
Yeah, sure.
into this matter of addiction. But when we start dealing with the different types and different levels of addiction, we'll bring this surely into it. You said something. You said um, the rapidity that are being brought, with which things are being brought to make sure that the human brain can remember and always crave it. And when you said that, it resonates with me. So there's this soda brand that I like to take a lot.
Uh-huh.
I used to always want it. Sometimes when I'm feeling very hot, because I feel very hot easily, so I'm always thinking about it. I just want to
Mhm.
get it. I just want to go get it. I just want to go get it.
Mhm.
Then someone told me, uh, a friend of mine, she said, "You don't need this." I said, "But I'm feeling hot. I need strength." She said, "You don't need this." He said, "Most times when you feel like taking this soda brand, when you feel like taking this drink, take water. You find out that the thirst you're having doesn't really need that soda brand." And I
Mhm.
said, "Okay, you know what? I'll give it a try."
Mhm.
And here's the thing. I knew that the soda brown wasn't good for me.
Mhm.
Its sugar level, I didn't like the sugar level. I didn't like the after effect I had after drinking it. But I
Mhm.
was still taking it because I was addicted to it. Then
Mhm.
one time I drank water when I was very thirsty and
Mhm.
I needed a soda brand. So I got to the shop and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for water. Then I took a bottle of water
Bottle of water.
and I drank a bottle of water. Immediately I did, the the thirst went down. I didn't need it. I didn't need the soda. I didn't need anything. I just needed to quench my thirst. And
Mhm.
I kept doing it. Now I can say for months I haven't been taking the soda the way I used to, and I feel healthier. Right? I feel
Mhm.
better. I feel I feel healthier within me. The sugar level, everything dropped. Now it's feeling balanced and it's
Mhm.
better. Sanjay, what are the things that people do not realize are addictive? Some of the things we do every day, we see every day, but are putting us in a kind of cage. Just like the soda I was taking. If someone didn't tell me that I didn't need it, I wouldn't know. I just felt anytime I feel very thirsty after a long day, maybe after a workout, I want to take something like that.
Mhm.
Until someone said, you just need to take water and to quench your taste, your thirst. And the minute it quenches your thirst, you don't need any other thing. And I tried it, and it changed everything for me. What are some of these things we are becoming very much addicted to that we don't know, and it's killing us, it's ruining us every day?
Uh-huh. Now it's the case like almost everything, Simon, eh? Just
Wow,
like you
wow.
mentioned, yeah, like almost everything that seems like even like food, like the beverages you said.
Wow.
This is not even the gross things, no? Like just normal days
Hmm,
things, or specific products or applications, or like cosmetics,
hmm,
even the fabrics of our
hmm,
clothing, special branding. So even the people go like shopping, no? They are addicted for shopping. Some people. Uh, so
hmm,
so everything seems like even food, snacks, uh, anything uh, can be addictive in the sense. And then the
hmm,
thing is like these can have like, because if we cannot reach for the good product, sometimes we can go for the lower qualities just to show. or just satisfy ourselves even. Uh, and then
mm,
what happens is like this can have toxins and all, and it slowly start killing us. Uh, so
mm,
even the Wi-Fi is not good for us. No, the mobile devices are not good for us. So I'm not
mm,
putting this uh, in a negative way, but this is what it is. Even everybody's facing these things, no? So the thing is,
mm,
like anything can be twisted and turned in a way that people can or can be addicted or addictive, no? So
mm,
in many innocently, because for example, say some kind of candy, and there are some places like they have used a little bit of some kind of substance
mm,
just for those, and these were places near schools, and just for the children to get hooked up to that specific product. uh, so they would come and buy
mm,
from that shop again and again. Maybe it was just pastries or like cake or some, no, things like those, but they had used laced it with some kind of substance so the children will get used to that. uh. So some people take some medicines for maybe like physical intimacy, and they put that and they get addicted to that. So they don't know, and then it can have things like, and sometimes they don't mind even if we have, so for example, like smoking, right? On the packs you see
yeah,
like big pictures of people with all these tumors or cancer,
cancer, yeah,
and every time
yeah,
a person opens that and picks a cigarette up, they see this no in their native language, and it says no, but still they smoke, right? Because they,
mm,
and they know this is killing them even. But some, as you say, like they don't know, they don't have a clue about. I'm not telling smoking, but other things.
mm,
So the amounts of like the color, the chemicals they use for colorations, the
mm,
essences,
mm,
the flavoring. So some people are just addicted to like even snacks. Uh, so without knowing, this has a very, these all have like a very bad particular products, uh, or even some soap or some kind of smell, uh, or what they use in the house, air freshness.
mm,
So anything can be twisted in a way that people can get
mm,
addicted with those specific kind of chemicals and all. But
mm,
what you mentioned was a great example, because actually we don't need it all like that. That doesn't mean people have to be sad, or they cannot do what they want, or they can be, no, they can enjoy their lives. That's nothing to do with
mm,
this. But it's just, we are just trying to show the dangerous sides of these things. So anything can be
mm,
twisted and turned, from technology to all the things we consume, uh,
mm.
all the way it can be implemented.
Wow. So the problem is in the twist, not necessarily in the thing themselves, not necessarily in the snacks, not necessarily in the drinks, but in the twist of it, in order to like make more sales or get people to buy repeatedly.
Hmm.
Amazing. How does addiction rewire the brain?
Or revived by, yeah, yeah, surely. Like we can say like there are uh, physical addictions and psychological addictions, Simon. So if you talk about physical addictions, the body gets so dependent on that. So as an organ wise, if you think like the brain, talk about the brain, then there is a lot of things that happen because of the addiction. So like cravings or strong desires, yeah, then inability to stop or reduce the behavior, or even tolerance of like difficult conditions, no, like you they feel it,
Mm,
but they go over that just regardless, because they are
mm,
tolerating that difficult thing because of that addiction. And then there
yeah.
are like even trying to withdraw and all, then it's not a easy way out. So the brain also gets hooked up. So in the psychological aspect we can say, uh yeah, the emotions, and then the addictive procedure makes some more additions to a normal scenario, the way they react, all these things like start, and there's what about the coping mechanisms we already had.
mm,
All those starts changing, and can even actually, well, I have talked to people and they say like, for as a simple example, they say like, for stress I started smoking. But
yeah,
even if you smoke a whole pack of cigarettes, it doesn't
you're
go
still
away.
stressed.
Still stress.
Yeah,
And now
yeah,
you have like almost like 20 cigarettes or something you had already smoked, but it didn't stop. And now you cannot
yeah,
get out of that habit also. You are stuck there, and
yeah,
your health is also bad and everything. So things like stress, anxiety, depression, and it can become even more, and the emotional side and the mental side. So yeah, we can see a lot of things. We can later talk about this also, like physical symptoms, behavioral symptoms, psychological symptoms,
yeah,
social
yeah,
some financial problems. So a lot of so
mm,
surely like they are all associated with the brain and its functionality.
mm,
So
mm.
it goes everywhere, to your body, to your life, your society, your country, your region, even the world. It applies, no?
Yeah. How can we then identify it? Because I didn't know that I was addicted to drinking that soda, like in my little story. I didn't know that I was addicted. I just felt, oh, I'm thirsty, and I knew because I'm knowledgeable, right? I knew that this wasn't really very good for me. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I give myself the excuse of I don't take it every time. I don't use it every time. That's just my excuse to go back to using it.
Ah,
And you know, a lot of people, you just give an example of someone who smokes and say, you know what, it eases me of stress. But the truth is, it only gives you a very temporary relief, maybe an hour relief. And the thing about smoking is, when you smoke, and get that temporary relief, when it's going to come again, when that stress is going to come again, it's going to be times two. Because
mm,
not dealing with it doesn't mean you dealt with it. Running away from it doesn't mean you fixed it. By fixing it, by facing it and saying, you know what is the problem? I want to fix it. I want to get it solved. That's how you fix problem. But
mm,
running away from it doesn't help. But many people don't know that they're already addicted. So, how do we identify addiction?
uh-huh.
How?
So we can
How do
see.
we find out?
Uh-huh. So there uh, it sometimes it's very difficult for each individual to understand. Uh,
Hmm.
but maybe when you say some people can witness this, no? Maybe a friend or family member or somebody like that.
Hmm.
They can like what happened to you, no? Or
Yeah.
so. But if you are knowledgeable and if you are like thinking, or we can think wisely, then we can see like a behavioral pattern and the dependence on that specific thing. For example, if
Hmm.
somebody takes smoking or eating, even there are eating disorders, right? And every
Yeah.
time so we think like, okay, this solved the problem, but every time a problem comes, then I talked to a person yesterday also, and this person is trying to quit smoking. So even if not, so just to know other problem, every time wants to have a smoke every time. So how many problems can you have in your life, right? So how many cigarettes are you going
Hmm.
to consume?
Can you smoke for them? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
the thing is like, then it needs more. Then it needs more. So we can see like sometimes there's like the backlash of things. So say that person
Hmm.
now like, for that person also now there's no cigarette, and they are like stressed and all. Oh my gosh, I don't have a cigarette with me. Yeah, so this thing should be something that like is beneficial, right? Okay, one time, and
Hmm.
okay, anytime any problem comes, you are good with it. You are strong now. But every time, if you have to take a cigarette just to solve a problem, you are not solving the problem like you mentioned, no? So we can see
Yeah.
like mood changes, dependency, or like for example, if somebody is doing some sport, they can see like they become tired easily or they are stressed easily.
Yeah.
So within, if
Yeah.
you watch your body, even your mind, even before the social interactions and all these things, or even you can see like they can be stressed out, they can be tired, or burnt outs can happen. You can feel like everything, and the craving is always there. Even if it feels bad in your mouth or anything, you feel the difficulties or pain, but still the urgency that mind keeps having one, no? So that's why people who are caught up in alcohol or drug addictions, they don't stop, even if they have cirrhosis, right? Uh, so
Mm.
they know they are going to die, or like they are in a very bad state, but still they want to have that because the addiction is so much, no? So we can see, and the time consummation, even if it's social media or something like that, the times we are just scrolling, no? Sometimes we don't even know for what reason, even what are you searching. Then you remember, like, my goodness, oh, people stay awake. Yeah. And then you see, like, what am I really doing here, right? I'm supposed to sleep, no? And now already 1 hour gone without even knowing. And then likewise, you see, like, if you just watch your body and the mind, and you see and then these things didn't apply before. Then you can consider and see, like,
Exactly.
what is really going on, no?
Mm.
And definitely,
Mm.
if they have like a good support system around you, that will be very great. Then people will notice you and ask, like, what is with you? No, you look very tired, or no, or anything like that. Or why are you always trying to go and do something? No, like the specific thing, because they witness this, right? Uh, say a person who's smoking or doing something, and or is that thing healthy for you? Some good person can ask, no? So,
Mm.
but if we can individually also watch our body and mind, uh, so that will be a great thing. Like we can self-analyze, like, oh, are we doing it right, or what is really going on here, or do we really need it even for
Mm.
that matter?
Mm. You see, I love the fact that you talked about observation, because what I have written down is observe yourself.
Uh,
Because most times, many people won't really come and tell you unless they're
mm,
very close to you and they love
mm,
you, and unless you're, like you say, in the right community around the right set of people.
mm.
What if, for example, a smoker who has friends who are all smokers
Smokers,
and they
yeah.
smoke more things than you smoke, nobody's gonna advise
Yeah, I have
nobody
another one,
to
no?
such case scenario. Right. So that brings us back to the individual, and the individual being able to say, you know what, I think something is wrong. You know what, I think I need to go back and seek for help.
Mhm,
I say this a lot. Coaches are needed. Counselors are needed.
mhm,
Therapists are needed. But the problem is, in some part of the world, these people are not, they don't pay much attention to them, and these guys are needed.
mhm,
uh, you told me about, you just shared about someone who is a smoker, any little thing, the person knew to reach out to you, but then how do we bring a sensitization? Because I'm always talking about the third party perspective, and in
mhm,
the third party perspective I say this: you cannot see everything because you are in the middle of the problem. You can't see its entirety, right? You're in
mhm,
the middle of it. You need someone who is outside your problem, who is looking at the problem or situation, or looking at you more objectively than subjectively, to be able to tell you you're not in the right place. You're
mhm,
not. We need mentors, right? Because of this particular reason.
mhm,
How do we create more awareness to people and say, if you're going through any sort of addiction, reach out for help? How do we bring such consciousness more into our societies, for environmental societies that people do not really value coaching, counseling, therapy, and all that?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. So if we start like what we are doing now is also one step towards that. No, Simon.
Mm-hmm.
So like we are trying to
Mm-hmm.
educate people and enlighten them, and then show that there are options, there are ways, and then they can refer to, and we can use social media and these kind of tools which seem harmful
Mm-hmm.
for the opposite purposes. uh, in a
Mm-hmm.
way like to bring good to things. No, it's because it's like a double-edged knife, right?
Yeah.
So you
Mm.
can use it in a good purpose also. You don't have to just cut yourself. No, you can use it to cut a banana or like a piece of bread or no some medicines or anything like that, right? So through like awareness, and if we can educate more and more people about these things, even
Mm.
if we so we can use these tools we already have and which are misused in a way, uh, because these were for the benefit of humankind, no? So social
Mm.
media and these things we are using, as well as we can use more even for the benefit of humans, without just saying
Mm.
things like that are harmful and disruptive. uh, they can use things for the benefit of the humans. So more awareness and these
Mm.
things are really needed. So to show like and if we can use the same thing, for example, they say if some water goes into your ear, you use some water and put it out, right?
Bring it in.
Bring it
Yeah.
out all of the stuff that was stuck inside also, no? And then
Yeah. Yeah.
anti-venom is made from venom. Anti-venom is
Mm.
made from and it saves lives, right? Uh,
Yes.
Sometimes it's not a good thing, but it helps to save lives. Like they put toxins into a horse's body, and they take the serum and then make antivenom, right? So
Yes.
likewise, we can use the same kind of things in a very proper way to educate people, make them aware. Like we are trying now. Also, this is
Mm.
also one uh, like a drop in the bucket, no? So. If any
Mm.
other people, or like we are talking about this, and then another person, huh? And then they can say like your friend told you, no, he must have heard it from somewhere
Mm.
else or seen it, huh?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
likewise, if we can spread the word even to our children and all this, and adults for sure, then the awareness is very vital, because from what they see, what
Wow.
they hear, and what the adults are doing, we can bring a big impact on that. So yeah, surely like
Mm.
if people are stuck in that, like a person who's out of that can really help. If you want to pull
Mm.
a person from the mud, you don't have to jump into the mud, no? Or you don't have to be in the mud.
Yeah.
If a
In
person
the
is
mud. Yeah.
outside of that pit, it's very easy to help them, no? Not to fall
Yes.
inside, but you can use a rope, you can use a stick, you can use a branch or anything possible. Even you can find help and try to take that person out of that situation, no?
Mm. Mm.
So it's like coaches, counselors, psychologists, all these things, even teachers, all these people, or even adults, no? Or people who bring awareness. It could be a child even telling their parents, "Hey, don't do this. Don't bring this
Mm.
again. I don't want this." No,
Mm.
so I get
Mm.
problems with this. It's very difficult for me to focus, huh? Or anything like that. Even a child can be the teacher there, or like person who shows the way.
Mm.
No, so awareness is a key factor.
Awareness. I love that. And that's majorly what we've been focusing on. Creating awareness. Creating awareness. Now to my last question for today, Sanjay. Why is it so important at this very moment? Why is it so crucial that we need to combat this silent epidemic called addiction? Why do we need to fight it so badly?
Mm. Because it affects everything from individual,
Mm,
the the
mm,
soul, uh, the mind, the body, the surrounding, the family, society, the
mm.
community, and then the country. So you see, like these things are sometimes like no, like alcohol was given freely to communities. Cigarettes were distributed freely at first. People didn't have to buy them; they were given to them freely. Uh, and then after that, you see like lines and lines of people just waiting to get them or buying them. Now there are sometimes queues. No, they like line up just to get the liquor. Uh, so the damage is so much, and the functioning of that country or family for that matter. Say a parent or the father comes, so we never know. It could be either gender, right?
In looking at how addiction affects our life, right? If it's not combated, the generation to come will have a shorter lifespan because, like you say, it affects everything. Nowadays, we have more broken marriages, and people don't see how this is related to addiction, but I see how it's related to everything. I, in my philosophy on how I see things, I believe everything is interconnected. Every area of an individual's life is connected to every area of your life is
Uh-huh.
connected to your physical life. Your health is connected to the things you eat. The things you eat is connected to the energy level, and which is connected to your productivity. So, at the end of the day, everything is connected. And if we don't deal with this, we'll have more trouble in the society to come.
Mm-hmm.
Sanjay, what is that one major thing that we need to do to deal with these addictions majorly? What is that one thing? Maybe two, maybe three, but at least what is that one thing that we can take home today and say, I want to start using? You talked about observation. We need to learn how to observe. And I really want us to talk a little bit about that observation. But is there any other thing we can do
Yeah.
aside from observation?
So many things. One is like we can
Great.
acknowledge the addiction. The example
Mm,
you brought up, no? At some point we
mm,
acknowledge. Some people then say, no, I'm not addicted, no? Don't say that, or like
mm,
they get angry or like irritated, or uh, so they can be violent even. Number one is like acknowledging the addiction. Then, like you said, Simon, like seeking professional help. That's another one. And then, if you have, or you can build a supporting system around you. Uh,
mm,
so, there are ways now we are not alone. So, people, even youngsters or anybody, there are ways, there are good people who want to help humans. No? And then they have even societies, hotlines, all these kind of things that can help, even
mm,
on the internet, no? While people are browsing and searching for different stuff, you can get more addicted. Why not like search for something that you can get free from something that is harmful?
mm,
So
mm,
you can build because of internet and all. You are not alone even in a way if you use it properly.
mm,
There are so many good people, so many societies or places like some channels and all. There are like videos and all. Like we also putting these things though, so people can watch them. They'll be there like just like the unnecessary stuff. These things will be also there for decades. Uh, so they can use that material or build a system around them. If you have one, that is perfect. But you can always make one, build one, just maybe one person. But don't worry, when good things also, there are plenty of people that gather around it. And then we can create a healthy routine in our lives. We can start building or having a healthy routine, like you mentioned, like eating well. And whichever we can do. Uh, in a way, for example, we can say we are poor and all, but we all like in our villages and places, they used to eat well and healthy. That
mm,
should be
mm,
luxurious or anything like that, but actually that food is much better than what they call all these expensive things, no, what we can find.
mm,
They so and uh, if he can achieve set some goals in life, or even regarding the addiction or overcoming it, like set clear as well as achievable. Yeah? And we can address things like that, uh, uh, how to say, like difficulties. We can write them down or journal these kind of things, and we can study ourselves even how to coping mechanisms. And we can avoid triggers, like if you are in some addiction, you can avoid the people what or watching those kind of things.
mm,
Not just one, no, there are so many places,
mm,
like so many things people can get addicted, right? So you can avoid those
mm,
triggers for that specific addiction or what is like really troubling you. And surely there's like a big, it doesn't happen overnight, but there are some people. There was one person I met. This person had been smoking for 20 years. 20 years. And this person gave it up within one day. I thought like, I asked like how many time, how long did it take? Because 20 years is a long time, right? And
mm,
then I asked this person how long did it take? Just one day. One day. And this person never wanted to take, and it felt like they had not smoked for the whole lifetime. Didn't want it.
mm,
The mind is strong. You can do so many things. I have met drug addicts,
mm,
and they use something like music or artwork or something like that just to come out of drug addiction. They need a
mm,
substitute, a proper substitute for that. And this was a person
mm,
who went to a different country, and he was living on the streets. And the parents and all thought that this was he was doing higher studies, so they sold property. It's sad, no? They
mm.
sold property, and he was checking new types of drugs that came to the market.
Wow,
Really.
wow.
And somebody there, they had to pick him up and felt sorry for him and put him on a plane some other, maybe cleaned him up and all, send him to his native country. But soon as he came to the native country, also from the money he got, he start taking drugs. It seems crazy, right? And but he also could come out
Wow.
of that habit, and he's telling even more than those. If you take, if he took alcohol, he would be more aggressive and violent. He told me this. I don't know this, right? Yeah? He would get more aggressive.
Mm,
So in a way, it's very sad. Like these things are like so common and sometimes like praised by society. How much can you drink? Or if you don't drink, you are like lame.
mm,
Or like no, men are
mm,
like criticize. What is wrong with you? No, have a drink. Or like I can. Or he cannot drink much. He throws up. Or like he, as if they are like something low. Uh, so then. Yeah, things like meditation practices also can really help, like mindfulness
mm,
practices. And if you can use it for like trigger and stress, these kind of coping mechanisms. And the other thing is,
mm,
if you can stay consistent, after some time you won't need it anymore. It's
mm,
these are not things we came up. We didn't come up smoking. We didn't come up drinking cola. No, from when we came from the mother's womb, right? All the social media. We have nothing. We didn't even have
mm,
phones, right? And here we
mhm,
are after studying and doing all this stuff and surviving all these years and everything. We are hooked up like some crazy individuals for something that is we have to spend the money. We hardly earn. Huh? It takes our health
mm,
away, it takes our energy away, our time away, peace of mind and everything. That's the craziest part. If it was free, okay, like no, not even like that. You have to spend your own money and kill yourself, right? Or hurt
mm,
yourself, harm yourself. So if you can do the opposite in that, because of that consistency of you keep on that flow, you are hooked up in there. But you can do the opposite of having the consistency of doing it right and be doing it in the opposite direction also, which after some time you don't even need. And
mm,
reflecting back, like people who came out of, when you talk to them, like, oh my goodness, like uh, I don't know why I did it, even they say. So it's always possible.
mm,
So there are so many things people can do.
mm. Uh, I like how you put it. There are so many things people can do, but there is a little problem, Sanjay, and this is the very last. As we get into the mindfulness meditation, there's so much information out there. Sometimes I feel like there's so much information. There's so much to hear. There's so much motivational words out there. There's so much video. There's so much content. There's now you can have it. I have over 7,000 books. Some I buy, some I've downloaded, some I got as a gift PDFs on my phone. And I've been putting together my physical library. I don't have 7,000 books on my physical library yet,
Mhm.
but I have a lot.
Oh,
But I have over 7,000 on my phone,
go on.
on my drive. That's a lot. But do you know what? I don't read all of it. And that's the problem. There's so much information on social media, but there's little or no action. How do we cross that addiction of more information, no action? Because I see that also as a sort of addiction, right? We want to get new information. We're looking for the new thing. We're looking for the latest information. What is this person saying about this situation? What is that person? We go online, make researches, but we come back, we never make use of what we find.
Mhm, mhm.
Why? How do we fix that problem?
Uh-huh. So we have to see because everything. For example, when I ask like who is Simon, you don't have to think like what did I do yesterday, what did happen last week, what happened last month. You asked you when I was a kid that for one, you don't have to gather. It all comes in like a bulk, right? So
Mm,
in a way, Simon, if we do it in a wholesome way, there is an impact in that. There is an
mm,
impact in that. But the thing is like yeah, we tend to like don't use the maximum capacity we have, right?
mm,
Or the
mm,
things we gather, no? But there is like a part of it that in a wholesome way, if you use just like the opposite, like the negatives, huh? And then they also come with or without knowing, they are applied in or they come to for work in your life, huh? But these wholesome things we can make an intention and like really get them to work. We can list them out and check, and we can go to specific topics that we need. There are even like softwares and all in these things we can use now. And this
mm,
knowledge, though sometimes we think like we don't use it, sometimes we actually it happens. It's there, uh, and it's
mm,
present. So if we do it like in a because okay, for example, how did we recognize ourselves today? We are just seeing a screen, right? And we see like somebody. And then, oh,
mm,
Simon, hello, Simon, how are you? Oh, it's Faith, or no, people we join. Yeah? And then even the names, like we can recognize the names, no, because there's like an input
mm,
or from inside that comes. This is in ancient wisdom. It's called manasikara. Manasikara means like there's a connection from our mind that brings like data, like it's coming from the hard drive. That's why I
mm,
recognize you. You recognize me. Like
mm,
the old data also applies. That's why we can recognize some things, like even letters we read. Uh,
mm,
so actually, there is like something, but it can work in a wholesome or unwholesome way. The recognition
mm,
or recollection. Uh, so if we like program it more and more in that good way, or we can go to for specifics, Simon, on the topic we really need at this moment. Uh,
mm,
then we can be like really focused and like achieve the things like we really want. So that data flow will actually come, and then if you just close your eyes also these things start coming around your mind. So when we are talking now also we don't have scripts or anything, right? But data comes, uh, so
yes,
in a way it's like when you close your eyes also the mind starts reading its own mind, and it's put into words like it's coming through a computer and put out from a speaker. because
mm,
in the hard drive these things are there already, right? So likewise, the what we take, we have so much capacity. But if we focus properly and on the things like we really need, then we can get maximum benefits also out of that. If you like really
wow.
target and see like what we really need at this moment for this specific task, and then
Mm,
go around that uh, within that specific topic, then more data according to that will arise in our mind
mm,
rather than
wow.
going through all directions, which is possible still.
Mm, mm. So what I hear you say is, in trying to overcome addiction, you have to look at specifying what addiction am I trying to overcome. Focus on getting the information you need to overcome the addiction, and
Mm-hmm.
then take it one step at a time. One step at a time. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be too much information, just minimal information,
Mm-hmm.
maximal action.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. With
For
that, we've
example,
come to the
like
end of today.
if
Thank you
I'm
so much.
having
Yeah.
like we can read all about it, we can have all the details, which is fine.
Hmm.
Say I'm having
Hmm.
some kind of addiction and I'm having some symptoms or backlashes, no? Or like when the mind is
Hmm.
trying, so we can search those things and see. Then this is really that relates to us, no? So you can then use and then you can go in so many aspects within that topic.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. So with that, we've come to the end of today's session.
Okay, okay.
If you have any questions, do feel free to drop in your questions as we go through the meditation mindfulness. Today we'll be dealing with what meditations do we need to do to become more aware. Because from all we said, the very first thing you need to overcome any addiction, you need to be aware of it. You need to be aware and conscious that there is this addiction. And when you are aware of it, acknowledge it, and then take actions to try to overcome it. So we'll be dealing with the awareness. How do we become aware? And that's what our meditation will be taking us through for a few minutes right now.
Okay.
So
So,
Sanjay, over to you now.
oh, thank you. So, if you want, if you have been seated for a long time, if you want, please get up. You can stretch or have some water, anything. Feel be comfortable. If you want, you can get up and sit down or do anything that makes it easier or you feel more comfortable. Can stretch. You can stretch your legs. If you want to drink some water or something, you can do. Grab some cushions. Uh, just be comfortable or get the relaxation to happen. And you can sit in a comfortable way. You even lay down. Usually, like it's very practical and easy if you sit down. And what we can do is, so today we'll specifically go with mindfulness for addictions and all, but anything because we can be addicted to anything. So it all helps. So first, like we learn to relax. You can move your body, move your head, move your neck, move your shoulders, even your elbows. Even you can move your fingers, even the thighs, the knees, the lower part of the leg, anything just to feel more comfortable, the circulation and everything to happen. And then let's use the breath to ease things down even more. And we can use the breath and all is are great tools. So we'll use the breath, especially the exhale. Especially the exhale. So this is like in addiction now, learning to let go, even that habit or the addiction. And when you talk about addictions, like the habitual patterns, no? After 30 days. good or bad, it can become like a habit. So why not we build good habits, wholesome habits, that we don't have to spend money or anything, our health or our wealth. So breathing in from the nostrils and breathing out from the mouth. Today we focus more on the exhale. So breathing in from the nostrils, keep it inside your body for some time, and we breathe out from the mouth. Focus on the exhale. With each exhale, we learn to let go of any kind of tiredness, because what happens in the mind goes through our body. So physical and mental stress or anything we can let go. That's why people sweat, sometimes throw up, or you need to use the washroom, or the heartbeat increases, because what happens in the mind goes through our body. There's nowhere else to go. So when we do it intentionally, we can let relaxation happen and let go of any kind of negatives and all. So each exhale after the inhale, let or anything release that is you feel uncomfortable or you need to let go. Now we'll focus on our bodies. Slowly move to the upper part of the head. Now incorporate that breathing with the awareness. Move to the scalp area, and with each exhale, inhale, let the inhale will happen. And with each exhale, just like to let go of any kind of tension or excess effort. Then slowly move to your forehead region, letting go and releasing any kind of excess tension or even excess effort. Then slowly move down to your eyebrows. Let them drop to either side with the exhale. Never mind if you breathing from the nose or the mouth. We are just focusing on the exhale. Then slowly move down. Check on your teeth and the tongue. You can release the jaw muscles. Then move to one side of your face. With the exhale, just try to release that area. Then move to the opposite side of the face, letting go, releasing, and letting relaxation happen. Then the back of the head. You can adjust the posture anytime you want. Then slowly move to your neck region. With each exhale, just learn to let go. When you let go physically, mentally, you can get through a lot of things. That doesn't mean you are losing everything. That space will be accumulated by good things, wholesome things, positive energy. You can give any name, but it's wholesome. And then slowly move down to your shoulders. You won't drop your hands on either side or right in front of you. But just see, you don't have to do this. Just if you like, you can do. But with the exhale, just let it go. Any kind of excess tension, even. Then slowly move to your abdomen, sorry, chest region, and you can feel like the whole rib cage lifting and releasing with the exhale. Then the abdomen, you might feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. With exhale, just release it, letting go, releasing. Then slowly the upper back, lower back. With each exhale, try to release and let go. Then slowly move to your one of your arms. the upper part of the arm, the middle part of the arm, all the way right up to your fingertips. With each exhale, just let it go. It doesn't have to be 100% or anything. Just try to let go of that ideas even. And then the opposite arm also, the upper part, middle part, right up to the fingertips. Use the exhale as a point of letting go. And just as for the upper part of the body, just see whether you are seated comfortably. And just like the arm, select one of the legs, the upper part of the leg. Use the exhale to ease. Oh, and then the knee, the middle part, all the way right up to the toes. Feel your presence there. Can spread them out. Do anything that makes it more comfortable. Can ground yourself. And do the same to the opposite leg also, the upper part, the knee, the middle part, and then from the ankle downwards. Letting go, releasing. So the whole body with now connect the whole body and with from head to feet with the exhale, just learn to release and let go. Then slowly move to your heart region and just stay there for a while and just see without doing anything how it feels. You can leave the past aside, you can leave the future aside. While you're there in the heart region, have some self compassion because now the mind has some space. It's like you cleared your desk or the room you're in. Just think like you put everything there was there just for a moment outside, and you have all the space for yourself, and you can think clearly. And just try to feel what the mind feels now. Just recognize it and get to know it more and more. So we are so distant even from ourselves. Sometimes we don't know our mental patterns. And now just see if you take the whole body as one and you are in the center point near the heart. What kind of sensations does the body feel in this very moment? Anything it can be. It can be pleasant, it can be unpleasant, it can be heat, it can be lightness, it can be heaviness, even pain. Doesn't matter. You don't we just see what is naturally occurring. But we are separating ourselves from that and watching it as if we are the third person, which can be done. Just observe the body. This is this is all mindfulness. Your mind gets sharper and sharper, like you are sharpening an edge of a cutting tool which was blunt. And if you feel this sensation, just see them come and go. And they are changing process. See their changing process. How they arise and they go. Even if they are good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, none of them can stay. Just observe. The more you observe, more stronger our minds get, more powerful our minds get. There's a huge, massive power in this stillness, like a great river or a deep lake. Usually the water is very still, not like the shallow or a little stream that makes so noise. Just observe. Just observe even the mental phenomena, whatever arises to your mind, as if you are looking at the sky. The clouds pass by. They can be dark, they can be light, they can have thunder, lightning, rain, or they can be very pleasant looking. Just see them pass by. The thoughts that come to your mind. See the separation. You are the observer. Now let's slowly move to our breath, because breath is like one of the key factors we are alive now. Water comes next, food comes next, then all the others afterwards. Addiction and all, they are all unwanted as well as extra. These are not things we really need in our life, even. Say we were in some very critical situation, some natural disaster, we won't have even time for these other things. It will be just basic survival. Just go to your breath. Even the breath will teach us so much. Each breath brings new life. Focus on the nostril region, and each exhale, everything goes with that. And we cannot keep a breath in for a long time, not forever for sure. So the breath that goes into the body cannot stay inside. And when the breath goes out, we cannot stay without the breath also for a long time. So this teaches us always there's a process of it passes away. Just like we intentionally let it go. So breathing in, arising, breathing out, passing. Arising of life, passing away of all, even the good. Now slowly come back into your body. Let's use a little bit of loving kindness. That's a great tool for many, many things. Because sometimes we are so cruel to our own self or body just because of some addiction or some kind of pleasure. So we are regardless of the main thing that is keeping us alive or helping us, even the body. You just take yourself and think, may I be free? Can put a name of addiction even. May I be free from, and then surely you can add, may I be free from mental pain. May I be free from physical pain. May I live happily and peacefully. May I be free. May I be free from triggers. Emotionally, physically. Even from withdrawal symptoms. May I be free from mental pain. May I be free from physical pain. May I live happily and peacefully. And add affirmation also into this. You can put yourself with these positives and replace the negatives. I am strong. I am capable. I am strong. I am capable. After the mind settles down, you can add these affirmations. Or you can tell yourself again and again, I am free from the addiction. Just say that what you think, it happens. When you think we are not, we tend to act like that also. I am free from addiction. or you can think I'm strong and capable. So we like rewire our brains and minds, brings ourselves to self worth when recovery. So let's practice by ourselves for a short time. Just relax and do. You can just go with the affirmations even. You can put any title there. I'm strong and I'm capable. I am free. You can put a name there. You're aware, you're alert. Even if your mind wanders, just bring it back. That effort is very wholesome. And if you believe in karma and all, or positive energy, that also brings that positive energy.
mm,
It's like you build the muscle of the mind. So slowly bring your attention while you are in the heart region and just think. If you want, you can slowly place one of your hands on your heart and just think, may all beings, you, people around you, in the home, workplace, or just in your proximity, everywhere, the pets, the animals, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be well, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful. And then slowly, or with all this positivity, energy, the connection, everything to the divine and all, it's like we are clearing our house and making way for all these good things to happen. And with that, they say the eyes are like the windows of the soul, or they are like the windows of our home, the body. Slowly bring your attention to the eyes and then just stay there for a little while and to bring this wholesome energy even to outwards and to project it outside to the day, the surroundings, your life, you can gently open your eyes. Okay, you can move your head after that, move your shoulders, even the hands and the palms. You can wiggle the fingers, move your legs, and come back to the present. Okay, so thank you so much, Simon, for organizing all this. And thank you, everybody,
thank you
for
so much, sir.
participating. And thank you for having me also today.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a power-packed one, and by next week, we'll be looking at the different areas of exposition, right? Thank you, guys. We'll be looking at the different areas of addiction that we need to deal with. But for
Mm.
today, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those who are on the group, more of this, the contents, the full teaching will be sent on the group. You have access to it. Thank you again, Santi. It was wonderful
Okay.
having you.
Have a good rest and a
Thank you.
good night. And if possible, practice.
And you
That
too.
that makes a whole
Yeah.
big difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All
And
right.
then see you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for
Okay. See
joining.
you.
All right.